Hi guys, today the topic that I will discuss with all of you is meant specifically for those who have lost their last hope, for those who think that I'm done with my life, for those who think that I'm a big failure in life. Friends, when life hits hard on us and everything seems dark and bleak, then it is very difficult for even a second to put a smile on our faces. Needless to say, the negative thoughts, which will be clouding and mounting on our heads. As we are discussing how to overcome failure, I just want to ask you, what do you understand by failure? What does failure mean to you? I understand failure as attempting to do something to get a desired result and end up not being able to achieve it. For an instance, assume that I have started a business with an intention that it should give me some profit. But if the business does not give me the profit which I want, then surely I will consider it as a failure, isn't it? And before I go a little deep into the topic, I will give you a figure which is really mind-boggling. These statistics reveal that 43% of Indians are living under depression, and India ranks 6th in the world in terms of its people living a depressed life. And more often, the youngsters fall prey to it and they end up terminating the life. And the number is really threatening. So there are some people who overcome failure and there are some who succumb to it. So what could be the reasons you think? Yes, there are innumerable reasons to it. It may be a failed relationship or being unsuccessful either in qualifying an exam or not being able to finish a project or a loss in business or simply financial insecurity. Okay, whatever may be the reasons. It is a kind of situation where life seems totally messed up, isn't it? So you worked and worked and worked, and finally the result is a big failure. You failed miserably. So what? Life is over? You gave up? Good. My dear, life is not over here. You can say that it is easier for me to stand here and say, but I also understand what an emotional roller coaster that the individual might be going through in such phase of life. But wait a minute, life is not over here. Think for a moment, the phone that you are using, if it doesn't function, what do? You restart or reboot it and it functions smoothly. But if the problem continues to remain the same, what do? You change it or you get another one, isn't it? It's so simple, right? So it is exactly the same with life. You have to make a new beginning, a new start. You have got to unfold a new chapter for yourself. When you think that your life is going through a turmoil, is the moment you realize it and you become a conscious human being. And I tell you, every realization is a new beginning. Okay, I will give you an example here. Thomas Alva Edison, who invented electric light bulb. How frustrated he must have been when he failed nearly 1,000 times. But you fail once, twice, or maximum 10 to 15 times and you give up. In fact, it is beyond my imagination what Thomas Edison must have gone through in his life. But he never stopped because he had a greater purpose in life. It is quite interesting to know what he said, and I quote, "I have not failed. I have just found 10,000 ways that won't work." I unquote. It is an incredible mindset Thomas Edison had possessed. Well, the next time you fail, just remember one thing, that something great is gonna happen in your life. Because I believe strongly that one should and must fail massively in his or her life. Why? It's because a big failure always leads to a greater reward. I'll give you an illustration here. One of the jewels of India, the former president, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, failed to qualify to become an Air Force pilot in his life. How disheartening he must have been, but the rest is history. From being a failure to become a pilot to a rocket scientist and thereafter to be called as the Missile Man of India. What an incredible and wonderful and a glorious transition that is. That's why I always believe that if one wants to become great, then he or she should be ready to fail. Because when one overcomes failure, the person actually develops an incredible mindset which is unbreakable and which is very resilient. So, if you think that you have failed miserably in life and want to succeed, then just follow these 3 simple tips that I say. Tip number 1, have a purpose in life. Friends, you cannot succeed in life if you don't have a purpose. Because purpose will always compel you to action. No matter what happens in your life, you will never stop. Even if you fail in your life, the purpose that you have will drive you to action. So, have a purpose like that of Thomas Edison and Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, and you will never stop and never fail. Tip number 2, change your approach. Friends, if you are handed over a bundle of keys and told to open a door that's been locked, then what will you do? You will try so many keys, one after the other, and finally, when you use the right key, you will unlock it. So, unless and until you use the right key, however you try, you cannot open it. Similarly, if you keep on failing, then just change your approach, because right approach always leads to good result and wrong approach always leads to bad result. Tip number 3, find the right people. Friends, very truly I am saying this. Sometimes when everything seems to be going against us, there will be some people who will come up and fix our problem. So it's like when we are trying to solve our math problem, we try and try, but at the end we fail. So what we do next? We approach either our math teacher or a friend who has that expertise and knowledge in that subject. To give you another example, when we feel cold, either we put on warm cloth or we go and stand near fire. Why? So that we will feel warm and our temperature will shoot up. Likewise, in life, when we fail so many times, we need to seek those people who have that knowledge, wisdom and experience, so that they will guide us and help us to succeed in our life. So having said all this, let me ask you, am I a failure if my business didn't work? Am I a failure if I didn't qualify in the exam? Am I a failure if my loved one broke up with me? Am I a failure if I didn't get a job? No, never. So, at the end, I must say that if you want to open the door of success, then you must have the right key with you. And if you want to get the heat, then be with the people who have fire, energy and positivity with them. And if you want to succeed, then have a greater purpose in life. That's it. So, if you liked my video, then give a thumbs up and share this video to those friends that are in need of this particular video. And click and subscribe my channel so that you get new notifications for my upcoming videos. All the best.